Thanks, Steve, and hi, Ranger Nation and Pulse fans. I'm so happy to be here to be able to answer some of the questions that must have been going through people's minds. I know that my social media got very busy lately when I started answering questions online, and I had to kind of back away a bit because I wasn't able to do my day job. But this gives me an opportunity to actually be able to chat to you and deal with some of the questions that you are going to be sending in. So great to be here. Very happy to be here, and let's see if I can answer some of these without giving away any spoilers. Right. Okay. First question here is, if you had a Dino Fury boost key, what power would it unlock? That's a great question. I love those boost keys. Very convenient. I think my Dino Fury boost key would unlock the power of time travel, because I would love to go back to Sheffield, England, when I was a child, and I grew up there before my family moved to New Zealand when I was about 8 or 9 years old. And I'd love to hang out around my schoolyard and local parks and old haunts and just remember what it was like and being there in the early 70s. So that's one thing I'd like to do. Another thing I'd like to do is go back to the time of the dinosaurs and see what they were really like, because of course we only have the fossilized bones, we don't know. And I'm kind of convinced, because birds are the descendants of dinosaurs, that dinosaurs actually weren't as dull and scaly and lizard-like as they're often depicted. I think dinosaurs were feathered with brightly colored plumage, and T-Rex was more like a gigantic parrot stomping through the primeval forest, roaring with sharp teeth. And I would love to go back there just to see that. And that was one of the ideas behind the feathered kind of headdress that Solon has, is we were creating an original dinosaur character. So we wanted to at least reflect what paleontologists are discovering about dinosaurs now, that they probably were feathered beasts. So that's a little sneak tidbit about Solon. Will we see more from the Morphin Masters and their story in Dino Fury Season 2? Well, you'll just have to keep watching to find out, is all I can say. It was great to introduce the Morphin Masters, because what we wanted to do was tie together all the bits of lore that were kind of inconsistent between various seasons. And the idea behind the Morphin Masters was that there were intelligent entities behind the scenes guarding the grid and helping the Ranger teams with morphers and link devices, but never actually getting involved in a hands-on kind of way. And it explains a lot, and it actually does unify things a lot. And they were mentioned back in MMPR in passing, and they have been a feature in the comics, but it was great to actually be able to do more with them and provide a bit more depth. As far as what comes next, as I said, you'll just have to keep watching. What makes filming in New Zealand so great for Power Rangers Dino Fury? We're very lucky in Auckland, particularly in that we have a whole variety of different types of locations, less than an hour's drive from where the studio is. We've got forest, we've got beach, we've got quarries, we've got urban environments. So in a lot of other countries, you might have one or two of those looks, but to access others of them, you have to travel a long way, which is expensive and difficult and challenging, and often you can't. But we can access a whole range of different locations in Auckland, which is fantastic. And when we shoot over summer, the weather is very stable, which is another good thing. Another reason why it's great to shoot in Auckland is because we have a very talented crew here who are used to making Power Rangers, and they have a lot of expertise working on a wide range of international shows, all of which also shoot out of Auckland. What's been my favorite episode of Dino Fury so far, and why? Well, I've got two in season 28. The first one is episode 13, which is the Slither kidnap and romance story. But the main reason I love that episode, apart from the fact that I think the story is really well told, is because it is the first episode where it's made clear that Izzy, Green Ranger, is a member of the LGBTQI plus community. And it's the first time in the TV show of Power Rangers that we've had a Ranger character who is. And I think it's really important that Power Rangers is inclusive and it reflects the world as it actually is out there. So it was a big step forward for the show, and one I'm really proud of being associated with. And it was great that Hasbro and E1 and Nickelodeon and everyone were so supportive of us telling that story. It's important and it's timely. My other favorite episode in season 28 is episode 21, which is the finale episode. And the reason I like that one is just because it is so exciting for me. That battle in the woods when the Dino Henge statues have been destroyed, and Santora in the tube, and will Void Knight be able to resuscitate her in time, and the unmorphed fight. I just think it's Power Rangers at its very best, and was really well directed and performed. What teasers can you give us for Power Rangers Dino Fury Season 2? Not a lot, because I don't want to spoil your enjoyment of the show. And if you know what's going to happen, it won't be nearly as much fun. And we want everyone to watch every episode. That's really important. But what I can say is that the story continues where we left off with the characters at the end of season 28. It's direct continuation. Zato and Ion will get to find out maybe a bit more about what became of their people and what became of their planet Rafcon, because that quest was clearly set up in the first half in season 28. And I guess one of the big questions is what happened to Santora and Void Knight, because last we saw a Void Knight who was engulfed in a huge explosion. In fact, we have a little sneak preview, especially for you, which might give you a little insight into what happened to those two. Here we go.
Out of my way! I'm warning you now. If this isn't enough, you better run. Full power! It's happening! I knew I could do it! Finally! Awaken my love. It's time.
There you go. You are the privileged few people who have been given an insight into the next season. Just don't tell anyone, otherwise everyone will know. Just keep it to yourselves. If I could choose the theme for the next Power Rangers team, what would it be? I can't really say what it will be, because that obviously, if there was going to be another series, would be a complete secret. But what I can say is that a lot of thought and discussion goes into deciding whatever theme is going to be an incoming Power Rangers theme, and involves a lot of people. What I can say really is themes that I have enjoyed. I really like the dinosaur themes, like Dino Fury and Dino Charge. I enjoyed as a season, but I think that next season should steer away from dinosaurs, simply so we don't end up repeating ourselves too much. I like in space Rangers episodes. I grew up watching some of the great science fiction films and TV series, a lot of which took place in space. And for me, I get a real thrill out of making shows that reflect the things that I loved when I was a kid. I sometimes have to pinch myself. I go, I can't believe I'm so lucky to be in this job making stuff like this, because I just love it still, and I can continue to be a big kid. I really like the whole post-apocalyptic world as a theme for Power Rangers. When I was a kid, the whole Cold War was still very much looming over our head, and prospects of annihilation were a lot closer than they are now. And RPM is one of my favorite Power Rangers seasons. I just love that world. So that's where my taste lies, but obviously not giving away anything about what the future holds in store. The cast looks amazing, fun people. What would have been some of your favorite moments with them? Any funny stories? Well, when I'm on set, everyone tends to behave themselves, so I don't witness the funny things firsthand, but I would strongly recommend that you all follow the cast on social media because they're very good about posting behind the scenes clips and little insights into their experience on Power Rangers. And you can see what a fantastically fun and smart and dedicated bunch of people they are. They were honestly a great team of actors that we had to work with. Very professional, very committed. They loved the show. And at the same time, they were very serious about doing the best work that they possibly could and worked incredibly hard. And you couldn't ask for anything more from a team of actors. They were stuck here over the Christmas break. Normally, a cast would go home for Christmas, but for COVID reasons, that couldn't happen. So we shared Christmas meals and Thanksgiving and met families. And really, it was just like one big family. So I was very happy to work with them and felt very privileged. Okay, I think that's it for the questions. So thanks very much for listening to me ramble on. And I'm so excited about what we're going to bring you all in the next season. I can't wait to see what you all think of it. So that's it from me.